Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, what is up, guys? Horror Nights Fan 13 here. Long time no see. I'm sorry for the lack of uploads this season. I've had a lot on my plate right now. I had tons of work for my film class. I am captain of high jump for my school, so I'm really busy when it comes to practice and academics, but I've finished some of the huge film projects. I have a little bit of time before I have to go to practice today, and I got some work to do for this channel. So I'm ready. Now today we're going to be covering Codename Charles, but before I get into this video, please, as always, show your support, like the video if you like it, comment your own theories, and subscribe if you want to keep up with updatings for the 2017 Halloween Horror Nights updating season. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So, Codename Charles, it's our second codename of Halloween Horror Nights 2017, but you may be thinking, Blake, why are you doing the second codename first? That's because I don't have a freaking clue about Codename Lemonade, nor will I have a clue about Codename Lemonade for quite some time. It's a very difficult codename. I have no leads on it whatsoever, so I'm not even going to try with it right now. Instead of saying, wait to do Codename Lemonade first, then do Charles, then do Writer's Block, then do Big Chill. Nah. You guys want to see me talking about the codenames. You want to hear my theories. You want to hear my connections. I'm giving them to you right now. So, Codename Charles. I'm going to go through the hints, then I'll go through my connection, and then I'll talk about why and how I feel about it. Let's get started. So, the hints for Codename Charles. It connects to a character. Yeah, that's the hint. Some other things that you can pick and choose from John's, little information about this codename. He is very, very, very excited for this property. Why? Because he thought they would never be able to do it. And there is a very iconic scene in this maze that is instantly associated with the movie. But it's very tricky to pull off in maze form. Now, I'm going to buckle up. I hope you guys buckle up too, because this one might throw you for a loop. The property I connected it to is The Shining. But, wait, Blake, Stephen King doesn't let his properties be used as mazes. Yeah, well, Stephen King also hated Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. So, maybe he just says, I have no control over this because I hated it. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm going to turn control over to Warner Brothers. Now, Warner Brothers, they got a pretty good relationship with John, I'm guessing, after their highly successful Exorcist maze last year. So maybe they said, oh, hey, John, I see your fans are asking for The Shining. We happen to have The Shining. You did a pretty good job with The Exorcist, so, there you go. Might be a wild theory, but who knows? Let's get into the connection. So, the character Charles, who I'm connecting it to, is Charles Grady, or Delbert Grady, as he's known in the scenes with Jack Nicholson, or Jack Torrance. So, Charles Grady was a former caretaker of the Overlook Hotel that murdered his family. That's cheery. So he murdered his family, and then in several of, Jack's illusions, or when he's going a little crazy in the hotel, he meets up with a guy named Delbert Grady. Now, Delbert Grady, as we find out, is actually Charles Grady, just going by a different name. That's a pretty good connection if you ask me. That's all I really got. No, it's not. I got more for you guys. So, as I said, Stephen King properties are insanely hard to obtain. Yeah, but, what if that scenario happened that I just mentioned? What if Stephen King said, look, I don't want anything to do with Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining, so Warner Brothers take control. Warner Brothers says, okay, John, here you go. I think that could very well happen. Because, The Shining was very highly requested. I've seen some of the most highly requested mazes have been The Exorcist, already done. It, not yet. The Shining, here you go, John. Let's let you do that one. Stick you around for another year. The scene that I feel is very iconic and instantly associated with the movie, however extremely difficult to pull off as a maze, is the bloody elevator scene. Now, why would that be difficult? you can't really pump thousands of gallons through opening and closing doors every 10 seconds. I mean, even what's its face, the flooding Mexico Street in Universal Studios takes a few minutes to reset. You can't do 10 seconds pumping blood water through the maze. And besides, you drench your guests. This isn't Splash Mountain. I mean, sure, John does like to spray us with some water dust, but I don't think he's gonna drench us. Another scene that could be very difficult that is always instantly associated with The Shining. Here's Johnny. That's a scene that I feel like if anyone saw that scene, they'd be like, oh, it's The Shining. So that was very instantly associated. Why do I think that would be a hard one? First off, you can't have a guy breaking through like thousands of doors a night, because that might be dangerous, or he might not break down the door in time. He might not be able to get a hole right through his head. The guy might not even look like Jack Nicholson. So it's going to be very difficult to pull off certain scenes from The Shining in the maze itself. However, I do think John is going to be able to pull it off, and I'm very excited if he is able to pull off. I love Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. I love Jack Nicholson's performance in The Shining. While Stephen King may hate it, and while I have never read the book, I love the movie. So I'm very excited to see what John has to offer on his take of the maze. So, without further ado, I want to thank you all for watching, and please like the video if you like it. Comment your own theories if you agree with The Shining, if you disagree, or what you might think it is, and subscribe if you want to keep up with some more updating this year. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.